Did you know that by the time you reach 60, the odds are already quietly stacking against your health? Over 80% of us are consuming too much sodium daily, silently hiking up our stroke risk by 61% and the chances of heart failure by nearly half. And it's not just salt. More than a third of seniors battle high cholesterol, while 1 in 5 will face kidney disease, often fueled by hidden additives in the very foods we trust. We believe we are making easy, comforting choices, perhaps a warm bowl of soup on a chilly evening, a quick lunch that reminds us of home. But I've seen countless folks, just like my dear neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, who developed puzzling blood pressure issues, only to realize the convenient canned soup she loved were a silent culprit. Or Mr. Peterson, who struggled with persistent fatigue, unaware that his favorite restaurant soup was burdening his system. The truth is, the soup industry, a multi-billion-dollar giant, often prioritizes cheap ingredients and profits over your long-term health, loading up these comfort foods with sodium, MSG, and preservatives. But here's the game changer. While the wrong soups can accelerate decline, the right soups, fermented, antioxidant-rich, and plant-based, can dramatically improve your health. We're talking about potentially lowering blood pressure by up to 11 points, cutting cardiovascular death risk by a significant 24%, and even slowing cognitive decline by nearly 30%. These aren't just statistics. They are the keys to maintaining your independence, vitality, and precious memories well into your 70s and beyond. That's why today, I'm going to reveal the 4 specific soups you absolutely must never touch after 60, and the 4 incredible soups you should seriously consider making a daily part of your routine. Stick around until we uncover number 2, a soup so powerful researchers have called it a natural prescription. Every piece of information I'm sharing with you today is backed by real, credible research, with links provided in the description if you wish to explore the science yourself. Before we dive in, tell me, how old are you right now? And what's one soup you've always relied on? Share your answers in the comments below, because I genuinely read through every single one, and your experiences often inspire our next videos. Now, let's start with the first soup that's quietly putting seniors at risk. I need to emphasize that the information shared in this video is for educational purposes only, and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet or health regimen. Number 4. Creamy canned mushroom soup. On the surface, creamy canned mushroom soup seems like the epitome of comfort. It's been the base for countless casseroles, a quick lunch, and it often brings back a flood of nostalgic memories. But for those of us over 60, this convenient go-to hides a dangerous truth within every spoonful. I've seen this time and time again in my work. What seems innocent can have significant long-term effects. Most canned cream soups are loaded with excessive sodium, unhealthy fats, and chemical thickeners that an aging body simply cannot process efficiently. Think of your body after 60 like a finely tuned, vintage car. It still runs beautifully, but it needs premium fuel and gentle care, not cheap, processed additives. The average can of this soup packs over 800 milligrams of sodium per serving. Let's be honest. Who stops at just half a can? For older adults, that's almost half of your entire day's safe sodium limit in a single bowl. This excess sodium isn't just a number, it stiffens your artery walls, driving up blood pressure and dramatically increasing your risk of strokes and other cardiovascular problems, issues that already surge past 60. Research from the Journal of the American Heart Association in 2019 highlighted that seniors with high sodium diets were a staggering 68% more likely to experience cardiovascular events compared to those who carefully manage their sodium intake. And here's the truly deceptive part. The creaminess in these soups rarely comes from real cream or fresh mushrooms. Instead, it's often from hydrogenated oils, modified starches, and preservatives. These ingredients introduce hidden trans fats that elevate your LDL, or bad cholesterol, further clogging arteries that are already less flexible with age. For an aging liver and kidneys, this chemical cocktail creates a storm of inflammation, which can chip away at your energy levels, cloud your memory, and slowly impair vital organ function. I remember Margaret, a vibrant 72-year-old widow who frequently relied on canned mushroom soup for her easy weekday lunches. She thought it was harmless, a simple indulgence. But slowly, month after month, her blood pressure readings crept higher, and her doctor began to notice early signs of kidney strain. It wasn't until she bravely swapped her canned soup habit for homemade, lower sodium alternatives that her numbers began to stabilize, and her energy slowly but surely returned. Her story is a poignant reminder. What feels like an easy, comforting choice today can carry a hefty cost for your health tomorrow. For seniors, creamy canned mushroom soup isn't truly nourishment. It's a disguised health hazard. The relentless combination of salt, additives, and unhealthy fats creates the perfect recipe for hypertension, persistent swollen ankles, foggy thinking, and a gradual erosion of independence. And the cruelest irony, it's often marketed as comfort food, while in reality, it slowly strips away the comfort of robust health itself. Number 3. Onion soup. Onion soup often comes with a certain reputation, hearty, warming, and perhaps even a bit sophisticated, especially when served in a restaurant, bubbling under a golden blanket of melted cheese. However, for seniors, particularly those over 60, this dish is far from harmless. The actual danger isn't in the onions themselves. Onions are naturally packed with antioxidants that can support heart health. The real problem lies in how onion soup is typically prepared, with rich, buttery bases, liberal amounts of heavy cheese, intensely flavored broths, and a shocking amount of sodium. A single serving of restaurant-style onion soup can easily exceed 200 milligrams of sodium and over 20 grams of saturated fat. Just think about that for a moment. That's an enormous amount, placing tremendous pressure on your arteries and your hard-working heart. When older adults consume this type of soup regularly, the consequences are significant and often silent. A 2020 study in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging observed that seniors who consistently ate high-sodium meals had a 64% greater risk of developing hypertension-related complications within 5 years, compared to those who managed their salt intake. When you add in those thick, fatty cheese toppings, you're not just elevating your blood pressure, you're actively accelerating the buildup of plaque in arteries that are already stiffening with age. For many seniors, this can manifest as persistent swollen legs, a noticeable worsening of memory due to reduced blood flow to the brain, and, tragically, an increased risk of sudden cardiac events. I think of Harold, a lively 68-year-old who absolutely loved his Sunday ritual of ordering onion soup at his favorite cafe. He genuinely believed it was a lighter, healthier choice compared to many fried options on the menu. But after several months, his cholesterol spiked alarmingly, and his ankles began to swell uncomfortably after meals. His doctor gently explained that the hidden fats and overwhelming salt in his seemingly healthy soup were actually overloading his system far more than he realized. Even more than some less savory options, Harold was truly stunned and had to give up a comfort he had trusted for years. The most insidious aspect of onion soup is its deceptive nature. Onions alone possess healing properties, but when they are drowned in butter, cheese, and excessive salt, the dish transforms into a slow-acting threat to your circulation and vital brain health. For seniors whose metabolisms are naturally slower and whose kidneys may not be as robust, this damage accumulates quietly. Bowl after comforting bowl, what might seem like a warm, harmless hug in a bowl can, in reality, push your body closer to severe hypertension, advanced heart disease, and a gradual loss of the independence you cherish. Number 2. Beetroot soup. Beetroot soup often conjures an image of vibrancy, earthy goodness, and inherent health benefits, largely thanks to beet's natural abundance of antioxidants. However, when it comes to seniors, this visually appealing soup can conceal serious risks. Beets are rich in nitrates, compounds that, in moderation, can indeed support healthy circulation. Yet, in large quantities, especially when concentrated into a soup. These nitrates can overwhelm aging kidneys and place undue stress on the liver. For seniors who may already have some reduction in kidney function, consuming too much beetroot soup can significantly elevate levels of oxalates. These are compounds known to trigger the formation of painful kidney stones and can even worsen existing chronic kidney disease. A 2018 study published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found a concerning link. High oxalate diets raised kidney stone risk by a substantial 70% in older adults with impaired kidney filtration. But the potential dangers don't stop there. Beetroot soup is frequently served with generous dollops of sour cream or thickened with butter, adding unwanted excesses fat and calories that weigh heavily on an already vulnerable cardiovascular system. For someone over 60, whose arteries are naturally becoming less elastic, this combination can transform what seems like a nutrient-dense food into a significant metabolic burden. Furthermore, the beet's distinct, vibrant red color can sometimes lead to an unsettling phenomenon called bituria, red-colored urine. For seniors, this can be easily mistaken for blood, causing unnecessary anxiety and medical confusion. I recall Irene, a spirited 71-year-old, who enthusiastically added beetroot soup to her daily diet, firmly believing it would strengthen her heart. Within a few months, she began experiencing recurring, unexplained kidney pain. It was only after a doctor's visit and some tests that she discovered the oxalates from her daily beet soups had significantly contributed to the formation of kidney stones. What she had intended as a healing gesture for her body was, in fact, quietly causing harm. For seniors, beetroot soup truly is a double-edged sword. A beautiful, bold bowl that seems to promise vitality, but often delivers strain on the kidneys, creates confusion for the body, and carries hidden risks to overall health. Before we move on to the number one soup to avoid, and then reveal the healing soups you must add to your diet, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel with the notification bell turned on. What's coming next could truly make a difference in your health journey. Number 1. Cream of spinach soup. It sounds incredibly healthy, even supremely nourishing. Spinach, often hailed as one of the most famous superfoods, artfully blended into a creamy, comforting soup. But for seniors, cream of spinach soup can surprisingly be one of the most dangerous traps lurking on the menu. The core issue isn't the spinach itself. Spinach is fantastic. The problem arises when spinach collides with rich cream, butter, often heavy cheese, and sodium-packed broth. Spinach is loaded with oxalates. When these oxalates are paired with dairy, they bind tightly to calcium, making it significantly harder for your body to absorb the crucial calcium it desperately needs after 60 months. Instead of helping to build stronger bones, seniors risk accelerating bone loss and dramatically increasing their chances of painful fractures. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research showed that older adults with high oxalate intake had a 34% higher risk of osteoporosis related fractures. That's a statistic worth paying attention to. But the dangers don't end there. Cream of spinach soup is typically rich, very salty, and calorie-dense. A single bowl can easily contain over 1,000 milligrams of sodium, which is almost half of a senior's daily safe limit. That much sodium stiffens your blood vessels, relentlessly raises your blood pressure, and pushes your heart closer to strain and potential failure. When you add in the heavy saturated fats from cream and cheese, you have a recipe that actively clogs arteries, rather than helping to keep them clean and flexible. For a body over 60, which is already contending with a slower metabolism and less efficient kidney clearance, this soup transforms into a silent, accumulating burden. Consider Paul, a spry 68-year-old who made a conscious effort to swap his usual fast food lunch for what he firmly believed was a healthier option, a bowl of cream of spinach soup from his local cafe. Within a few months, his blood pressure spiked unexpectedly. His doctor cautioned him about early signs of kidney strain, and follow-up scans revealed worrying signs of bone thinning. The very soup he had trusted to protect his health was, unbeknownst to him, quietly undermining it from the inside out. Cream of spinach soup wears a cunning disguise of health. But for seniors, it's a dangerous illusion. It's an illusion that can weaken your bones, excessively stress your heart, and accelerate the natural aging process from within. I've just exposed how seemingly innocent soups like creamy spinach soup can silently harm your bones and circulation. But not every soup is a danger. In fact, some can actively fight back against the very diseases that threaten to steal your strength and vitality after 60 TC. That brings us to the must-eat side of this countdown, starting with a surprisingly powerful bowl that has been a part of Asian tradition for centuries. Number 4. Miso soup. When most people envision miso soup, they often picture a light starter served in a Japanese restaurant. But for seniors over 60, this fermented broth is far more than a mere side dish. It's a truly medicinal ally. Miso is created by fermenting soybeans with a special type of fungus called koji, a unique process that unlocks a treasure trove of probiotics, powerful antioxidants, and beneficial peptides that offer benefits far beyond what plain soy can deliver. For our aging bodies, these live cultures work wonders. They strengthen your gut health, regulate your immune system, and even help to balance your blood pressure. A significant 2017 Japanese cohort study revealed that seniors who regularly consumed miso soup had notably lower risks of stroke and heart disease, with reductions as high as 26% in women. The magic lies in the fermentation process, which produces unique compounds like isoflavones and saponins. These compounds actively protect your artery walls from stiffening, which is a key factor in cardiovascular decline as we age. Picture Helen, a delightful 72-year-old who had struggled for years with various digestive troubles, from persistent bloating to frustrating irregularity. Her doctor suggested she cut back on processed foods and actively incorporate more fermented options into her diet. Within just a few weeks of enjoying a small bowl of miso soup each evening, she began to notice a remarkable improvement: smoother digestion, less discomfort, and a more steady, consistent energy throughout her day. What she couldn't see, but her subsequent lab tests powerfully revealed, was something even more profound: lower cholesterol levels and significantly reduced inflammation markers, those silent enemies that constantly threaten her heart and arteries. Of course, I must emphasize that not all miso soup is created equal. Some instant packets, conveniently marketed to busy households, can be loaded with excessive sodium, which, unfortunately, can counteract many of the health benefits. Seniors must be vigilant and aim to prepare miso soup with moderate salt, adding fresh seaweed and tofu to truly harness its health advantages. The true power resides in the fermentation, the very process that transforms simple soybeans into a probiotic-rich, artery-protecting broth. For older adults, even one small bowl of carefully prepared miso soup each day can act like a powerful shield, strengthening your gut, supporting your liver, gently easing blood pressure, and keeping your arteries wonderfully flexible. It's a food that feels deeply comforting but acts profoundly medicinal, proving that not all soups are dangerous. Some, like this one, are absolutely worth making a cherished daily ritual. Number 3. Tomato soup. Tomato soup may appear to be nothing more than a simple, classic comfort food, a staple from childhood memories. But for seniors over 60, when prepared correctly, it can be an incredibly powerful ally for your heart and arteries. Tomatoes are bursting with lycopene, a carotenoid pigment responsible for their beautiful deep red color, and one of the most extensively studied natural antioxidants. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found compelling evidence. Seniors with higher lycopene levels exhibited a significant 26% lower risk of cardiovascular disease compared to those with lower levels. Lycopene works its magic by reducing oxidative stress within your artery walls, slowing the harmful oxidation of LDL cholesterol, and actively helping to keep your blood vessels wonderfully elastic. For older adults, this translates directly to better overall circulation, more oxygen efficiently delivered to all your tissues, and a reduced risk of the silent buildup that can tragically lead to heart attacks or strokes. Consider the inspiring story of Raymond, a spry 70-year-old retiree who decided to swap his usual habit of canned cream soups for a simple, homemade tomato soup, often enhanced with a drizzle of healthy olive oil. Within a few months, his cholesterol profile showed remarkable improvement. His doctor noted much better blood pressure control, and Raymond himself felt a noticeable boost in his energy levels. Unlike those heavy, cream-based soups that tend to clog arteries, homemade tomato soup, especially when gently simmered with garlic and a touch of olive oil, truly transforms into a medicinal food. Interestingly, cooking tomatoes actually increases the bioavailability of lycopene, making this vital nutrient even easier for your body to absorb and utilize. However, there's an important catch. Not all tomato soups are created equal, and this is crucial for seniors to understand. The boxed or canned versions that crowd supermarket shelves often contain shocking amounts of sodium, sometimes exceeding 800 milligrams per serving. This excessive sodium can unfortunately negate all the heart protective effects by drastically raising blood pressure. Instant powdered tomato soups are often even worse, frequently including preservatives and hidden sugars that aging bodies metabolize poorly. That's precisely why the preparation method makes all the difference. Using fresh tomatoes, slow simmering, and minimizing salt transforms this humble soup into a daily prescription for robust vascular health. Tomato soup isn't just comfort in a bowl. It's one of the simplest, most affordable, and profoundly effective tools seniors can utilize to maintain flexible arteries and a strong, healthy heart. And when compared to the insidious hidden dangers of highly processed soups, this one truly stands out as a genuine lifesaver. Number 2. Cheese soup. Cheese soup can feel like the ultimate comfort in a bowl. Rich, thick, creamy, and often served steaming hot with a crusty piece of bread on the side. However, for seniors, this indulgent soup, in its common forms, conceals a dangerous cocktail of risks. The problem isn't just one single ingredient. It's the potent combination of heavy cream, full-fat cheese, butter, and often a very salty broth, all cooked together. Each spoonful of typical cheese soup is loaded with saturated fat and excessive sodium, two of the biggest culprits behind clogged arteries and high blood pressure in older adults. A 2019 study published in Nutrients indicated a concerning trend. Seniors who consumed high-fat, high-sodium meals at least 3 times per week had a 48% higher risk of cardiovascular events compared to those who limited these types of foods. Unfortunately, most restaurant or canned cheese soups fall squarely into that danger zone. For an aging body, the damage builds silently and insidiously. Saturated fats, especially from heavy cheeses, raise your LDL, the bad cholesterol, which hardens and narrows your arteries. Simultaneously, the abundant sodium in the broth causes fluid retention, placing enormous strain on your heart and kidneys. Seniors with slower metabolism simply cannot clear these harmful substances as efficiently as younger individuals, meaning even small indulgences accumulate to dangerous levels over time. Your body responds with widespread inflammation, elevated blood pressure, and thickened arteries that can eventually lead to a heart attack or stroke. I recall Helen, a charming 74-year-old, who had always adored a bowl of broccoli cheese soup at her favorite cafe, considering it a harmless treat because, after all, it had broccoli in it. But over a year of enjoying it weekly, her blood pressure steadily climbed, her cholesterol levels spiked, and her doctor gently warned her she was on the verge of needing stronger medication. It wasn't until she courageously cut out the cheese soup and switched to lighter, homemade vegetable soups that her health numbers finally began to improve. Her story vividly illustrates just how deceptive these creamy, cheesy bowls can be. While younger people might brush off the effects of an occasional indulgence, Seniors simply cannot afford to. The heart muscle is less forgiving, kidneys filter more slowly, and blood vessels naturally stiffen with age. That's why, despite being marketed as hearty and wholesome, typical cheese soup is unfortunately one of the worst choices seniors can make. It isn't just heavy, it actively accelerates the very diseases most likely to shorten life after 60 kasu. Number 1. Vegetable broth. Sometimes, the simplest bowl offers the most powerful medicine. Clear vegetable broth might appear plain, even uninteresting, compared to elaborate creamy soups or cheese-heavy recipes. However, for seniors over 60, it works like a profound tonic for the entire body, packed with easily absorbable, water-soluble vitamins, essential minerals, and vital electrolytes. It tirelessly supports optimal hydration, gently fuels your body, and significantly reduces strain on your aging kidneys and delicate digestive systems. A comprehensive 2019 clinical review published in Nutrition Reviews found that seniors who regularly consume daily vegetable-based broths and soups had a remarkable 31% lower risk of micronutrient deficiencies. This directly translates to improved immune strength and a reduction in hospital admissions. A truly significant benefit. The natural potassium found in vegetable broth helps to beautifully balance sodium levels, naturally lowering blood pressure, while the potent antioxidants from ingredients like carrots, celery, onions, and various herbs diligently protect your arteries from harmful oxidative stress. Think of Arthur, a wise 76-year-old gentleman who frequently struggled with uncomfortable bloating and persistent fatigue after eating heavier, often canned, soups. When his loving daughter began preparing a simple, homemade vegetable broth every evening, enriching it with fresh parsley, a touch of garlic, and a dash of heart-healthy olive oil, he noticed profound changes. Within just a few weeks, he experienced significantly fewer stomach issues and a much more steady, sustained energy throughout his day. Even more remarkably, his blood pressure readings showed distinct improvement, surprising even his own physician. Unlike those overly salty processed soups, homemade vegetable broth is wonderfully light, genuinely cleansing, and exceptionally easy for seniors to digest, providing much-needed strength without ever overwhelming your system. What truly elevates vegetable broth to the #1 spot is its incredible adaptability. It can be delicately sipped alone as a deeply healing drink, offering soothing comfort and vital nutrients, or it can be used as the versatile, healthy base for countless other nutritious soups. This ensures seniors receive essential nutrients without the unwanted excess fat, sodium, or artificial additives. It works to restore balance and harmony to your body in a way that no processed can or powdered soup mix can ever hope to replicate. For older adults facing heart issues, digestive sensitivities, or even recovering from illness, a well-made vegetable broth is a safe, reliable, and profoundly beneficial daily ally. That's why it rightfully earns the top spot on this crucial list. In a world saturated with overprocessed, sodium-heavy soups that subtly erode senior health, a humble bowl of vegetable broth stands as a powerful reminder. The simplest, most natural choices often provide the strongest and most enduring protection for your health and well-being. Soups can truly be comfort in a bowl, but after 60 varuti, that comfort should never come at the cost of your precious health. We've seen how the wrong soups, loaded with cream, hidden cheese, or excessive sodium, can quietly raise blood pressure, weaken your bones, and subtly drain years from your life. But we've also discovered how the right soups, like nourishing miso, vibrant tomato, and simple vegetable broths, can do the exact opposite. They protect your arteries, feed your cells, and keep your body strong and resilient well into your later, golden years. Here's the undeniable truth. Every spoonful you take is a powerful choice. It can be a step toward clogged arteries and debilitating fatigue, or it can be a deliberate step toward clean blood vessels, vibrant energy, and the dignity of independent living. That profound choice is firmly in your hands every single day. Now, I genuinely want to hear from you. Which soup surprised you the most today? And do you have a personal, healthy soup recipe that you absolutely swear by? Please drop it in the comments below. I personally read through every single one, and your answer might just inspire another senior to make a life-saving change. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this vital information with someone you truly care about. Because the right soups don't just warm the stomach, they can truly keep the heart alive and thriving.